I think the Distinguished Member Award is a great chance for NATSO to recognize someone who's done great things inside our industry by encouraging all of us toward higher standards and by their actions has brought new luster and new light to our industry from those outside looking in by what he or she has done. Fred is truly one of our industry's pioneers, and ever since I've been in this business, I've heard his name, and he's someone that people have pointed to and said, here's someone who's doing it right. It's been great for me to watch Bob as a board member. He is very conscientious, is committed to the idea that he's there to represent all of NATSO's members, and does that every time he comes to a board meeting. Personally, for me, the Moon family have meant a lot to my NATSO involvement. They're the people who first pulled Pilot into NATSO and encouraged us to be heavily involved. Of course, Bill is a legend in our business. Carolyn, Will, and Delia all play big roles for NATSO and are selfless in their serving and giving to NATSO. I doubt there's anybody in our industry who doesn't admire and appreciate Paul. He's selfless in his giving for NATSO. I've seen him serve in so many ways, and not only that, he's a great person to have around.
It is my pleasure to introduce to you the distinguished member on his 82nd birthday, Mr. Fred Bosselman. Excuse me.
Fred has been a wonderful father.
The best way to describe my dad would be to say the old German.
He's a tough gentleman, but fair, very fair.
Fred demanded very much of his children.
Fred is very, very firm. He, however, is always fair.
He's a very sweet, very loving, very caring father.
Fred's a very strong man. He's hardworking. He's a caring person.
He has a great reputation for establishing a truck stop that promotes a family atmosphere, a place where people of all types driving up and down the interstate would want to stop and be.
Well, we all know that Fred is a real pioneer in this industry.
I know all about it. I read his book.
Fred is probably one of the friendliest and most forgiving people that I ever knew.
Fred is big in every sense of the word. He's humble to a fault and a lot smarter than he looks.
I consider that Fred Bosselman was probably one of the smartest men I ever knew.
He's bright, he's clever.
He's smart, very smart.
And he's extremely intelligent. It's amazing with Fred, the older I got, the smarter he got. It's just amazing how that works.
I guess the Bosselman set their truck stops apart, different from others, but with their personalities and their care.
The difference between a Bosselman stop and a regular stop is, I think, the characteristics of the stops.
He always made sure the restrooms were very clean.
Cleanliness, extremely clean. Fred's pet peeve is having clean bathrooms.
Cleanliness of the whole operation is something that is to be envied and much admired.
Service, customer is always first, always right.
Taking care of the customer. The customer, we feel, is the most important person.
The service, their service is above everybody else.
The serving of good food, the giving of good service.
Family atmosphere.
We are such a nice family.
I think that's what kind of sets our operations different, is the family type atmosphere we try to instill.
If I knew exactly the differential between the two, I think I would bottle it and sell it to the industry.
NATSO members should follow his lead.
His work ethic, his values, the way he deals with customers.
He sort of exemplifies the entire truck stop industry.
Hard work pays off.
Well, I think NATSO members can learn that you become successful by doing.
They should learn to work like hell without showing it.
He's been a role model for this industry. For not only has he been an innovator and a leader, but he has supported NATSO in many ways.
I know he has an incredible reputation for involvement, and I've seen a list of things that he's involved in his community and really throughout his whole state.
Fred is a good businessman. He's forward-looking, and he's a great humanitarian.
He's done a lot of things for our community, Grand Island, Nebraska.
Mr. and Mrs. Bosselman are a real credit to the community, and I think we're especially blessed in Grand Island to have them there.
There is a respect in this community for him.
I think all of us can learn from Fred that our businesses can impact and change the world around us.
Well, he's not a procrastinator.
He is not lazy, that's for sure.
He's not lazy.
He's not afraid of work.
Fred Bosselman is not afraid of taking a chance.
Fred's not afraid to meet a challenge head on.
You know, not afraid to tackle anything.
He is not a person that you can run over.
Not selfish.
He's not a good golfer, but neither am I.
Most of Fred's hobbies kind of center around his children and his grandchildren.
He's got some neat hobbies. Airplanes.
He's a real well-qualified airplane pilot.
Selling fuel was his main interest, but he finally learned to play at golf.
He loves golf, but he plays it very poorly, just like the rest of us do.
He does play golf, but I think his main hobby is a lot of hard work.
Fred's greatest interest, I would say, is hard work.
Well, his hobbies, as far as I know, have been work.
Well, the only hobbies I ever knew he had that he really concentrated on was his job and his family and the business. And lately he's really concentrated on the farm, and he really enjoys it.
My dad's hobbies are working and the farm.
He's been very much interested in agriculture.
Right now, I think Fred's hobby is the farm. He really enjoys the farm now.
The difference between men and boys is the size of their toys, and size of his toys nowadays. I think he has every farm implement imaginable with every bell and whistle.
I do think that I have to work about 4 more hours a day just to keep him in farming, though, and I think the whole family does. I can't see the return on that one yet.
I have never heard another business person or anybody say a negative thing about Fred Bosselman.
A friend to anybody, no matter who they are.
I can't recall of any time that there's ever been a crossword between us.
He always goes out of his way to say hello to people.
He was a real polite man with the customers.
He goes out of his way to thank customers for their business.
I don't think he ever forgets a name.
He could see somebody that he hadn't seen for 20 years and call him by first name.
He's never forgot where he came from.
I think a lot of us could learn a lot of lessons from that.
And he also did something very smart early on. Fred Bosselman married Maxine.
It's hard to talk about Fred without talking about Maxine.
I'm very, very proud of my father and my mother, Maxine.
You know, she's written cookbooks. Their restaurants are named after her. We visited in their home, and, you know, Fred and Maxine, it really makes you feel like you're part of the family.
I think it's right for our industry to recognize those people who have made us what we are. And Fred definitely played a large role in helping NATSO establish itself as a force.
He's had spectacular success in his life, but he's done it the right way.
Fred is a sincere, hard-working person.
Fred's a hard-working guy.
He is a workaholic.
Hardworking, dedicated, and caring.
Strong, hardworking, very energetic.
Very honest. He tells you what he thinks, and he does what he tells you.
Fair, hardworking, and honest.
Honest, friendly, and forgiving.
Tough, fair, and honest.
Integrity, character, honesty, being a role model. In a day when role models seem to be scarcer and scarcer.
He is firm, trusting, and caring.
Real warm-hearted.
He's an entrepreneur. Secondly, he's kind of a marketing genius, and he's just dapper. I think he's a dapper gentleman.
He's a contributor, he's a pioneer, he's a family man.
Well, he's sincere, he's genuine, and he's honest.
Fred Bosselman is just really a nice guy.
And that's really the essence of Fred Bosselman's success.
Ladies and gentlemen, Fred Bosselman. Fred, if you'd like to come to the podium, say a few words. I have one question for you. I don't know what the answer is, but I was told you got a special birthday present from your wife, Maxine, today. And I'm not sure. The staff has told me to maybe say you'll make a few comments about that.
I really didn't think I was that good. But you know, if it wouldn't have been for marrying this young lady a little over 57 years ago, I probably wouldn't be near as good. And this is beautiful. I really mean that. And,
well, we've always enjoyed all you people. We really have. It's just been...
And you know, tonight, I was standing out there having a drink, you know. All of a sudden, you know, I saw my daughter Barbara, and I thought, now, what's she doing here? And then I see 2, 3, 4 others of the family until they were all here.
Tell the son-in-law was supposed to be taking care of the farm. He saw him.
Yeah. But it was really a surprise, and I mean a thorough surprise. And
pair of pajamas.
You know, we're real conservative, you know. And you can tell that. And you know what I gave my wife for Christmas? I shouldn't go into all that, but it's kind of funny. I wanted to know what she wanted, you know, and she says, well, I could sure use a new washer and a dryer out in Arizona. So I thought, well, now, that's not a bad idea. So when we got here to Arizona, she got her Maytag washer and dryer.
It's a deluxe one, too. Top of the line.
Well, folks, this has been a wonderful organization, and we've always enjoyed each and every one of you. And thank you so much.